DirecTV Stream brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can get all the entertainment you love without the hassle. And there's no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
And welcome to episode 82 of the Talking Hockey Podcast.
822.
822.
No, 82. I just had to make a new one because Martin's an idiot and couldn't figure out his stuff. So I had to restart.
As usual, Martin's being an idiot and ruins everything for everyone.
We have to record this at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. One, because I had to change the day because I'm going to Montreal tomorrow. And two...
So you're taking a vacation and may just change the day. That's what
it's
I'm
not really
saying.
a vacation. I'm unemployed.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Talking Hockey Podcast. It's your favorite producer Luke here to remind you to follow and subscribe on whatever streaming service you use. Leave a review on Apple, visit our website, talkinghockeypodcast.com, and follow us on Instagram at Talking Hockey for daily content. Now, let's get into today's episode with your favorite group of guys, Luke, Eric, Ty, and Martin.
That's even worse. It's even worse because you're complaining about doing something late at night and you don't have to wake up for work tomorrow. That's the worst. I have an 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow morning. I have an 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow morning. Luke just doesn't have to get up.
Correct.
I have to wake up early tomorrow, but it's for golf. So
I hate you too. All right. Martin's usual Monday to Friday morning golfs because he doesn't have a job either.
Yeah. I don't know what
He has
Martin
to
does
get it
to get
in.
by.
He has to get the rounds in because it's soon going to be
Season's
snowing.
ending.
No more golf
season's ending.
Yeah, then his entire personality will be gone after that.
Yeah.
What personality? Did he have one before?
I mean, that's a good point. But I was pointing towards golf being, the only personality.
My personality
really
becomes fantasy hockey.
Yeah.
As the snow comes, it turns from golf to fantasy hockey.
Eric, move the mic.
Yeah,
away
Eric,
from your mouth.
you're eating your microphone right now.
Yeah. It's not a chocolate bar.
Yeah, come on, Eric.
Oh, it's almost time for rating the chocolate bars again.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
actually,
chocolate
we
is
do
coming
need a
back.
new ranking. I'll post some chocolate rankings. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I got
we
a couple.
need-
I got some chocolate for my birthday, so I'll make some rankings.
those.
Oh, yeah,
M&M
happy birthday,
bars
Eric.
Thank you.
Eric's
Hey guys,
birthday.
in honor of Eric's birthday, which was October 11th,
10th.
And that's wrong.
10th.
And Ty is correct.
Sorry, it's already been 2 days. In honor of Eric's birthday, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Tell us give us one bar about how much Eric sucks, or 1 star, or 5 stars, how much you love Eric. But please don't let it go to Eric's head.
I was in.
It will.
I
Yeah,
was
we
in
know.
Vancouver. I woke up and
We
I
didn't
was
care.
the first one to wish Eric a happy birthday because I don't think
Oh,
anyone
okay.
else knew, but I did.
I think
I
that is
knew.
true. That is true.
true.
In the group, you were the first one.
I was.
I knew.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
I was mad at Eric, so I didn't wish him a happy
I
birthday.
heard there was
Yeah,
supposed to be a
because-
big birthday party, Martin. What happened?
I wanted to, but everyone's like busy for Thanksgiving and doing family stuff on different days. Everyone does their family stuff on different days. Some people do on Mondays, some people do on Sundays, some people do on Saturdays. I'm just like, pick a day. Like, why
I just
doesn't
don't
everyone
do
just
it,
pick a day?
so.
Yeah, and Martin just doesn't go and see his parents at all. Like, he's just a complete savage about it. I remember when he was dating his like ex-girlfriend, he'd just never go home for Thanksgiving, and he'd like sometimes not home for Christmas. He'd just like stay.
Hey,
Just leave. And
It
his
was a
parents
good
don't have
time.
any
Me and
other
Jeremy
kids.
would just
His parents
party it
have
up in
him.
the house.
His parents have him. That is it. And he just wouldn't go and see them like a fucking asshole. But anyways, back to hockey. Martin,
I'm
don't
back
defend
this
yourself.
week. I haven't been here for.
Yeah, Ty's
I-
finally back after a month.
yeah, I'm back.
And today we're going to rank the different divisions, correct? And then what else has happened? Game
No.
1 and 2 are on of the season tonight. So
Yeah.
Tampa Bay
really
is
think
going to
there's much
go
else to talk
0-82 because they apparently suck now. And Pittsburgh
I was
is
watching.
going to go 82-0 without Crosby or Malkin, apparently. Or Gensel. Or
I just
anyone else good in their lineup. I think Letang's out too, is he? Maybe.
No,
Letang's there. He's the only guy.
Letang's
Letang's normally
Oh,
out.
your boy Marino's there, and Aston Reese are there. So I mean, what
I
else
mean,
do
that's
you
all you need. You need Zar, you need Marino. You're good to go. You
Shut
know?
him down.
You're not going to
Okay,
let a goal in if you have those two on the ice.
Yep.
So
I wanted to show you something here. I have a new microphone. It's a High School Musical karaoke microphone
Nice.
that I found in my basement.
Yeah,
Circa
because well,
2005.
you still use it all the time. I'm surprised you didn't think about
Yeah,
this
I
before.
know. Luke, I have a
You
quick question
karaoke
for you,
with
though.
yourself all the time. Yeah,
It's
what?
true, I do. It was showing you as muted on Zencaster. I don't know if that was an issue.
Yeah, I'm back. No, I'm muting and unmuting myself because I'm typing a bit because I'm the producer. I'm looking up things.
Okay.
Everyone should give. I know we just said rate the show for Eric's birthday. Everyone should give him a 1 star because he sucks.
That impacts the
if-
rest
if
of us.
I
though.
get a 1 star, all of us get a 1 star.
Yeah, I don't like
Incorrect.
this rating system, Luke.
I know it's not good for the show, but whatever. Bring down Eric, the authoritarian.
I am a bit of an authoritarian. This is true.
So
That's why you should come work for me, Luke.
This Tampa Bay Pittsburgh game's getting wild. Like Tampa Bay's had no goalie for like the last 5 minutes, I feel like. And Pittsburgh just keeps scoring empty net goals.
What's the score right now?
Pittsburgh just scored again, so it's 6-2.
Oh my God.
Vasilevsky is not going back in the net. Because why the fuck would he? Like, just fuck it. You know?
Awesome. Well, okay, so let's start with what were we going to start with? Divisions?
Yeah, ranking the teams in the divisions and where we think they're going to place.
Yeah, well, I guess since every team's fully, not many more like major moves are coming, so I feel like we can do that. Do you guys want to do that, or do you want to talk about like the recent stuff that happened? Like McKinnon with COVID, Kravtsov getting trying to
I
get
think
himself
we can
out.
rapid fire that at the end. Let's get into the divisions
I
first.
agree.
Okay.
Those are
All right,
rapid fire.
which division do we want to start with? Does anyone want to pull them up?
Obviously, the hot topic, Pacific.
Hot
Pacific
topic
division?
Are we still calling them like Toyota and shit,
No.
or was that just a
That
one-time
died.
thing? Okay,
That
thank
died.
God.
One-time thing. One-time.
Let's go with
COVID
the
thing.
Pacific. I think the one with the least amount of.
I feel like
controversy.
everyone's
everyone's bad. So like,
yeah, I feel like everyone's in with like Seattle, Vegas, Edmonton, and Calgary basically making the playoffs. I think it seems like feels like there's pretty big consensus over that, and then a few
I think
people
Calgary.
have.
I think LA can beat Calgary out.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna
so,
say
too.
a few people have Vancouver, LA making a bit of a run and getting into that wild card spot essentially.
So I just wanted to say over the weekend, I was watching Vancouver versus Edmonton. I know it's preseason. McDavid wasn't playing, but I wanted to say that both teams are absolutely awful. Keith Ceci,
Scout tie.
I got a live view of them playing together. I got to watch Tyler Myers, Tucker Poolman. Quinn Hughes had a terrible turnover that led to a breakaway. Who else was there that was just awful?
Rathbone, maybe.
Yeah. Luke Shen was playing. Good
Oh, God.
times, man.
That's like an elite defense core right there. That
Ekman
is
Larson?
worth. That's a $30 million decor right there.
What a game I saw. But yeah, both teams are absolutely the Pacific Division. It used to be like 5 years ago, whenever your team went there to like your Eastern Conference team, they played San Jose, LA, Anaheim. You'd have been lucky to win like one of those games. And now they're just 3 easy wins, and Vancouver's an
I'm
easy
gonna go
win.
with that was longer than 5 years ago. Early 2010s.
Yeah, man, time
I
flies.
mean, even up until like 2015, basically.
It's crazy how
2015.
quickly, how it's changed though. Like now they're the easy wins. You look forward to playing LA now in your California road trip. That should be
Honestly,
6
like
points in the bag.
you look forward to playing anyone in the Pacific outside of Vegas.
Yeah.
Almost, it's almost like a blessing. Maybe you don't want to face McDavid, but other than
You don't
that,
really like teams don't like playing McDavid. Like it's
Yeah.
general
Well,
consensus that
that's-
McDavid's not fun. But
you
obvious.
shouldn't want to play against
Yeah, that's
McDavid. That's
obvious.
a smart.
I mean,
smart thing to
if you're really good, you should want to play against them because you want to prove that you're better than them. But
sure.
Well,
sure.
but okay, but
But you're
McDavid's
not.
one player. McDavid's one player, and you can just
Yeah.
take advantage of Barry, Nurse,
Shutting him
Keith,
down.
CC.
yeah, Exactly.
He's just one guy on
Man,
the ice.
I think Edmonton's going to be one of the most fun. I think arguably the most fun team to watch because they could be both one of the top 5 highest scoring teams and one of the top 5 highest scored against teams in the NHL. Like
Mike
they're going to
Smith in
throw
net.
out Cece and Keith for 20 minutes a night.
Yes.
That's 20 minutes of just pure fucking offense, like for the other team.
Yeah.
And then whatever minutes that McDavid constantly plays with Nurse and Tyson Barrie. So it's just going to be constant offense for 20 minutes with McDavid on the ice, constant offense the other way for Keith and Cece on the ice, and then the other half, basically, or the other third of the game. So I think that'll be I think Edmonton will be a team you got to watch on a regular basis this year.
I also saw Edmonton's projected lineups and all the talk of Hyman playing with McDavid. I think Hyman's playing on the second line, not with McDavid.
Yeah, they have
That's
him.
what I saw.
I mean, it makes more sense to put RNH with McDavid than it does to put Hyman with McDavid. Because Hyman with Draisaitl and Yamamoto makes more sense because RNH can at least shoot the puck better than Hyman can. And McDavid's already a great playmaker. Why would you put a guy who's special? Like, you don't need a guy to win puck battles. You have Puljujarvi on that line who's actually quite good at that. And that's what Hyman's specialty is. So why wouldn't you split that up? Draisaitl's the shooter, Yamamoto, well, shooter and passer almost, but Yamamoto is more of a playmaker, and Hyman wins those puck battles and plays a more defensive role than what Draisaitl does, right?
I do want to say this is completely off topic. Well, it's still on the Pacific, but this is a really cool game, a historic game for our generation. The two, not fantasy, two
expansion teams
facing each other in the first game. It's pretty cool.
Wow!
Yeah.
Thanks, Boomer Martin. Amazing.
That's a non-boomer thing to say. Boomers would know all the expansions. Shut up.
I mean, yeah, probably the last time that ever happens in our lifetime. There's probably going to be no new teams, no
for sure.
expansion teams. There might be new teams like move.
I still like my
expansion
strategy
happening.
of the NHL just going into a bunch of different markets and saying fuck it. But yeah,
That is
like
like
getting huge. They get in a huge league.
Yeah, like
going?
add another 10 teams. Why the
That's
fuck not?
ridiculous.
If you're gonna be so local, why not just go local? You know?
So,
Okay,
anyway,
we're getting off
Find
topic.
the 10
Hey,
next
yeah,
10
yeah.
biggest
Hey.
cities.
producer
Put
Luke is
teams in
here.
there.
Hey.
Producer Luke is here to tell you.
Producer
You need to
Luke,
get
that's,
back.
this is the brand of the podcast. You can't kill the brand.
And maybe that's why we've seen very little growth, Martin. Have you ever thought about that?
That's true.
I don't pay attention to that, so
Martin's just here.
I do.
So I think that Vegas
coast.
back to your standings. Vegas number 1, easy pick. Number 2 through 7, who knows? But it should be some order of Seattle, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary, LA, and then Anaheim and San Jose are probably your 2 teams that are definitely not in the mix.
Yeah,
San Jose's-
Anaheim and
San
San
Jose is
brutal.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
It's
out.
they're not good anywhere, and I think Anaheim might finally make it the year to sell off. So if they get rid of Raquel, Lindholm, Fowler,
Even Gibson could be
whoever the guys are, Gibson could
Yeah,
be gone.
I've seen stuff about Gibson leaving.
Josh Manson.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of guys that they could sell off, and I think they need to. So, but they also got Zegers coming in, should be entertaining. But yeah, Anaheim at the bottom. I think Calgary's going to be an interesting team because who's their coach? Not Suter. Sutter. Sorry. Sutter. Can he rebound with Calgary? I don't know. I feel like Calgary can go 2 ways. They can have a really good team, or just be completely ass and go Kachuk only signs a 1-year deal after 2-year deal or something like that and goes to free agency. They sell off Monahan because he only has a year left or 2 years left on his deal. Sell off Johnny
Boudreaux's
Hockey
gone
on
for
his
sure,
year
yeah.
left. Yeah, could be a bunch of guys that could just sell off.
Well, there is
Should-
a 50% chance of them being good or bad, Eric. It's just the math.
50%.
Thank you, Luke.
But I think at best scenario, they're second or third in the division. and worst case scenario, they're like 6th. Basically.
I think if you were watching Calgary last year when Daryl Sutter took over, he was coaching them like they were the 2012 LA Kings when they're definitely not the 2012 LA Kings, and it was like he's coaching them like they had Drew Doughty and peak Kopitar and Dustin Brown on the team when they obviously don't.
Yeah, and he even tried using Backlund similarly to how he used Kopitar, and it just didn't really work. Backlund isn't what he used to be, basically, and But anyways, can't focus too much on one team because got a bunch of divisions to go. But yeah, Calgary, they can go anywhere.
Middling team,
but yeah, it's hard to. I think the Pacific and the Metro are the hardest to rank. I feel pretty comfortable with the Central and
for different reasons.
Atlantic. Yeah, for different reasons. Everyone in the Pacific's crap. Everyone in the Metro's good.
So Pacific.
Also,
we're thinking.
I could see Calgary being like the bottom, like below Anaheim. To be honest,
I don't know about that. I feel like they have enough.
I don't like Calgary.
I feel like they have enough there to beat. Like Anaheim has nothing. You know what I mean? Like Anaheim has nothing. Like nothing really going for them.
Yes.
So Calgary has some stuff going for them.
Yeah.
You know?
So
they still have a bunch of really good
much.
forwards. They have some young players that could do better. Kachuk, Mangiapane
and Dube are big X factors.
Yeah. Yeah, Dubé,
Dube.
Valimaki stepping back in, seeing how he does. Rasmus Anderson maybe taking another little step forward. Like they have some. Is Noah Hannafin's there too? Can he do a little bit better? I think there's like a couple. Like there's a little bit there. Anaheim is just like nothing.
Anaheim's back end is better than Calgary's back. Like if you look at Calgary's back end, they got Anderson, Killington, and
he's not playing.
Killington's not even playing. So
they
got Anderson.
I don't think he's anything at this point.
I mean, they will be playing Zadorov, so that's going to be fun. Unfortunately,
Zadorov trying to take on McDavid on a regular basis. So.
That's going to be great to watch.
Your next division. So anyway, sorry, look, what we were saying was Vegas could be anything in between.
Vegas, Seattle, Calgary, Edmonton, Los Angeles are like the 5 contenders. And then
I'm saying mine would be Vegas, Edmonton, Seattle, LA.
I think that'd be mine too.
That order.
I still have a hard time seeing LA doing it, but
they still have Jonathan Quick. Anything's possible.
It's not, they have
Quick's
Cal
not even
Peterson,
playing.
Yeah, Quick's dead. But the new guy, Cal Peterson, I like him. So, we'll see. I think LA can surprise. You know, they did get a bunch of good additions. No Arvidsson. I think that's it. Actually, a bunch of young guys stepping in, possibly.
But they have young guys that could step in. I mean, Byfield has that injury, which is unfortunate for his development.
It's kind of shitty. It's kind of fuck that Seattle had such a bad expansion draft, yet they're still gonna probably coast to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were almost, no matter how badly they screwed up that expansion draft, they were always gonna, even if they made more wrong picks than the ones we already discussed on that other episode, like they were still gonna make the playoffs because of the division. Like in the Atlantic, I'd be putting them in 4th or 5th or 6th, depending on, not 6th, 4th or 5th, because I think they're better than Montreal.
FYI, the game has now started.
Congratulations.
Okay. Anyways, what do we do next? Central Division.
And now we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
When it comes to hiring, there is no shame in needing an assist to score. Indeed has helped businesses stay competitive with their hiring, and they can do it for you too. Get started right now with $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Indeed is a hiring partner that gets you what you really want, a short list of quality candidates as fast as possible, because you can do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all at Indeed. Get a $75 credit. You heard me. At Indeed.com/BlueWire. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy. Whenever I was looking for a job, Indeed was the very first place I go. Indeed.com/BlueWire. Offer valid through December 31st. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Slow is just right if you're on vacation, a sloth, or describing QuickBooks. More like slow books. It sucks you in and slows you down with manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays that leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Now is the time to make the switch to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 financial system, because NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. It's everything you need to grow, all in one place. With NetSuite, you can automate your processes and close your books in no time, no matter how big your business grows. Failing to switch to NetSuite will leave you stuck trying to make sense of your books while your competitors sprint ahead. 93% of surveyed businesses increased visibility and control since switching to NetSuite. And right now, special financing is back. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financial program only for those ready to switch today. Head to netsuite.com/BlueWire right now. Get special financing at netsuite.com/BlueWire. One more time, netsuite.com/BlueWire.
And now we'll get back into the show.
Central? Okay.
I mean, I think it's obvious.
Guys,
the top.
I think we should take this into account right now. Arizona, according to TSN, is currently at the top of that division, only because it's ranked alphabetically, but they should own this while they still have it.
Yeah, they are first in the division. I wish their like social media team would make
It's
a joke
not even
about that.
alphabetically correct. Oh, I guess.
Yes, it
Depends
is, idiot.
Depends on what you do.
What do you? Who
What
do
do you
think
mean
is above
depends
them?
on what you do?
Well, if you
Did
ranked
Ryan
it
make a joke?
alphabetically with the
Coyotes.
Coyotes, Avalanche.
I
Oh,
see.
But no one does that in any league.
Yeah.
No one does that. Yes, you are correct.
Okay. So what you just said is completely useless. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes,
Everyone
Glad
leave
we
a
discussed
review
that.
about how dumb Martin is, please. 1 stars.
you can do that. Most educated on the pod, dumbest.
So Avalanche #1. I think Minnesota for #2. What do you guys think on that?
Easy. I think I've even said before, I've gone on record and said that I could see Minnesota being first in the division.
If you didn't
yeah, I
before,
mean,
you
if
have
call-
now.
What's
sorry.
that?
I said if it wasn't on record before, it's on record now.
Yeah, it's on now. But if Colorado, because they're counting a lot on Darcy Kemper being a #1 goalie and staying healthy for the majority of the year, because
It's mostly
their
staying
backup-
healthy.
yeah, it's mostly staying healthy, and him being being as consistent as he was the past 2 years. In regards to his performance, they lost Grubauer, who was Vezina finalist. Whether you agree with it or not, he was a Vezina finalist and he performed really, really well. But they lost Donskoy as well, right? That's another forward piece gone. Kadri didn't have a very good year last year, I don't think. He's taken a step back. I mean, you still have McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen.
Yeah,
of course.
Kadri definitely had a rough year last season.
And you have
He did.
a good D, but I mean, you really only go as far as your goalie. And if Kemper's injured, like how he was the majority of last year, I see Minnesota as a better team.
Francouz is a formidable backup, so they can give Quemper rest. But yes,
he was
Quemper-
also
Injured,
injured.
though.
He's also
He's
injured.
injured.
And he was injured majority of last year too.
Yes, but Quemper needs to be there. Is all I wanted to say with that. Francouz cannot be the starter.
No, I know.
And their other guy, Jonas Johansson, cannot be the starter either. Mostly because I don't even know who he is.
He was on
Obviously not.
Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember a guy on Buffalo last year, one of the Buffalo writers. I think they traded him for like a 7th round pick last year to Colorado, because it was when Grubauer had COVID and Francouz was also injured, and so they just got this guy. And one of the Buffalo reporters said he was the worst goalie he'd ever seen in his time reporting on NHL.
That's
Yeah.
awful. That's so
I-
mean.
Vegas,
I'll go
Vegas
pull up
just
that
scored.
tweet. Thanks, Martin.
Vegas just scored.
Thanks, Martin.
Great.
Weak goal.
Martin, by the
Weak
time
goal.
this is live, all this information will be completely irrelevant. So just keep it to yourself.
Oh, I know, but like I'm just telling you guys.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Martin. And what I was gonna say was, look at their defense, though. Man,
Okay.
that defense can get you past a shitty goalie. I think Makar, your top
Oh,
pairing
yeah.
is Makar and Devin Taves. Your
Who's
second
injured
pair
to
is
start the
Sam
year.
Gerard and
Ty, that doesn't
probably
matter too
Eric
much.
Johnson, and then your third pair is Ryan Murray and Bowen Byram. That's an insane top. That's the best defense in the NHL, bar none. Nobody's even close.
Yes. And they obviously probably have the best line in hockey.
Yes, they kept the
Debatable
best line versus Boston. Yeah, we'll see. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Or
yes.
the point Kucherov Palat line. That's also up there. But yeah, regardless.
I
might say the Blackhawks could contend for second. Depending on what Fleury does.
Yeah.
If Fleury can stay what he did last year.
The division's really bad, so I can agree. I don't think second. I think Minnesota's.
They're playoffs.
They are playoffs. They are playoffs.
Especially if Taves comes back and plays well.
Potential.
The thing with Chicago is like it's a weird team. Like what are the odds Taves is still as good as he was before? You know, he took a year off.
But he was really good that prior year, though. I think it was maybe even the year before. But
that was one of his better years in the previous couple years, for sure. But a year off is a lot. And their defense
is a big X factor.
Kirby Dach is a big X factor, and he also missed a year. And he missed a year in his his 20-year-old season or 19-year-old season, I forget. I think 19-year-old season. That's a big year for
20.
Development.
Yeah, he's 20 right now.
Yeah. So he missed his 19-year-old season, so it's D+2, which is a big year development-wise. So that's that can hurt them. And then Seth Jones, he'll be his usual crap. And I'm kidding, not crap, just meh. And then, but they don't have Fleury's gonna have to save a lot, is what I'm gonna say with their defense.
I do want to just update people because I feel like people think Eric thinks Seth Jones is a completely awful defenseman.
I joke about it. I don't actually think.
Yeah, Seth Jones is just an overrated defenseman.
Yeah,
that's all we think on this podcast.
Yes, but yeah. Sorry, Ty. Continue.
I was going to say that I could see them being third or fourth in the division. I think it's the clear top two is going to be Colorado and Minnesota, because I think that people also don't realize that Minnesota was really good last season, right?
Yes,
and I know they bought out Parise
and good defense.
They bought out Parise, they bought out Suter. As dumb as those decisions were, but I think that makes them better this year.
This year is the year that should make them better.
Yeah, exactly. And Marco Rossi coming in, if he can play and even though he took a year off, and it's really unfortunate because, if you listen to the podcast back before the 2020 draft, you knew I was a big Marco Rossi guy. The guy didn't play a single game last year.
You love Marco Rossi.
He is making the team this year, and he is great.
This is a Marco Rossi stan podcast.
Right here. Yes.
Yeah.
Huge Marco Rossi.
Marty loves him. Martin's loved him for a while, 2 years before he was drafted, since he was
big Ottawa 67s. Yeah. Ottawa 67s.
Martin liked him for 2 years before he was drafted. We were talking about him.
I said Marco Rossi should go second overall.
Yep. I mean, and I think he should.
It's on record.
I think
it is on record.
I'm still mad at Ottawa didn't draft him.
But regardless,
who did draft Sanderson? Oof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget when Buffalo also took another Ottawa 67 before Marco Rossi in Jack
Good
Quinn.
time.
But that's besides the point.
That's still like one of the most bizarre draft decisions I've like. Jake Sanderson's one thing because maybe you're just going position. It's the usual picking
Yeah.
position over. But even like
Literally
he's also
same
the better
position.
player and same or better position because Marco Rossi can play center.
And you've obviously scouted the team because they're on the same team.
Yeah, you can't say you didn't see him because you would have seen him being better than Jack Quinn on his.
This
just hurts.
This is besides the point.
That was sick.
Oh my God,
Oh my
Martin!
God. Martin,
You can't
relax,
be doing
buddy.
this. Martin.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry. Seattle looks awful.
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. It's not
See,
surprising.
that's the thing with Seattle. Seattle has a good team on paper, but do they gel? Do they, have chemistry? That's what's going to be the determinant of their success.
And I don't think you're going to find that out game
reason.
one.
Yeah, you're not going to find. That you can't even determine that 10 games in.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of guys
back.
out. Like
No,
they
they
don't
came
even
back.
have Gord yet. They don't have.
McCann and them all
out.
got cleared to play.
Alexia Cup. All the guys with COVID were cleared to play. Gord is
were
out,
they?
right? But they were, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alexiak's in, McCann's in, and whoever the other one is in. I just read the tweets.
To get back on topic, though, the Blackhawks are in tight with the Stars and Blues. The Blues did some decent stuff, like Butch Nevitz is pretty good addition. The Stars, like if Robertson and Hintz can do stuff, which I'm banking on hard because I have Robertson in my fantasy.
Martin took Robertson a little too high. High. When we had a podcast like 2 weeks before talking about drafting Robertson too high.
Yeah, you got freaked out, man. There was no one else there.
It happens. There. I get it. I made some panic picks too. It happens to the best of us. Dallas is
like 21 players. It's fucking
22 players.
But Dallas could easily be the fourth or third.
Dallas could be third or even second in the division.
Yes.
And the reason I say that
depending on
is
how Sagan comes back.
Exactly. Too. Sagan. And no, but they're not just getting Sagan. They're getting Sagan and Radulov back.
Yes.
Both of those guys were gone last season. Basically the entire season. Radulov played like 10 games or 11 games. And he was point per game. He was over point per game those 10, 11 games. I'm not saying he's going to be point per game this season. I doubt it. But 60 points is possible, even though he's 35 now. So Sagan, if he can be a 60-point player again, like he has been for most of his career, that's Tyler Sagan, Pavelski, Radulov, Rupe Hintz, and Jason Robertson, who could all put up 60-plus points. And then you look at Guryanov, who, Guryanov's still 24 years old. I still think there's a little bit of improvement there.
And Klingberg could put up 50.
Yeah, Klingberg's never going to – I feel like he's never going to fit in on what's his name? Rick Bonus's system. I think that's the issue at heart. But regardless, Klingberg's still a really good player. So it's like –
And so is Heiskanen, obviously.
And Suter actually fits in with their system well.
Can we agree that the Central Division has the best defensive teams in the fucking league? Jesus.
No, but I think
Avalanche, Stars, Wild. Holy shit, those defense.
But it used to be even better. Insane. Remember, Nashville had Ellis.
Nashville had one of the fucking unreal ones too.
St. Louis had Pietrangelo. Like the amount of defensive talent in the Central was kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
They've a little bit of it's gone.
And we're forgetting the Jets. Jets could still compete.
Jets had Bufflin. I don't know if you call him great defensive talent, but great offensive talent with the guy.
I was saying right now.
Yeah, they could make the playoffs this
basically,
year.
The only bottom teams are the Coyotes and Predators. And then all the other teams.
I mean, even the Predators, Saros. Oh. If Saros has a Vezina-worthy season, and I know they're bad.
It's possible he does.
They are bad. I'm not arguing they're not.
The offense,
but the Central isn't that strong.
They need to score goals. Like he could get a shutout every night. And
yeah, they might not even score 2 goals a game.
Goal.
Yeah.
like Yozi's gonna be their top point producer, without a doubt.
Yeah, Yosi or Forsberg are gonna be their top point producer, most likely. Basically.
Yes.
And their defense got a lot. Oh my god, their defense is gross. Oh, that's so
It
bad.
fell off a cliff.
That's so bad without Alice there, man. It looks terrible. Like they have Fabro who hasn't really done anything. I love Borowicki. I have such a soft spot in my heart for Borowicki, but he's not a good player.
It's
Ben-
Borowiecki. Can we
Ben
please get
Harper.
that right?
What?
Big Ben. Borowiecki, not Borowicki. Come on.
Whatever his name is. I have so much love for him in my heart. But
Good guy.
good,
Good
seems
guy.
like a freaking great guy. Not
Great story
exactly-
about Borowicki when he was in Ottawa. Literally was driving down the 417, which is main highway in Ottawa, and it was a blizzard. Saw a guy like snowed in on the side of this road, and literally stopped and dug him out.
Yeah, I even watched
On
a
the way
couple
to a game, I
podcasts he's
believe.
on. I've even watched a couple podcasts he's on, and he seems like just a great dude. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, anyways, Nashville's kind of trash. So the top four, as I see it, Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, and Chicago is the top four for me, kind of right now.
I say,
But St. Louis and Winnipeg are,
yeah.
right there. It's
Wild-
not like
wild
there's
card,
a
yeah.
major difference. It's like a hot goalie makes a difference in this division between, or a
Well,
minor
the Jets
shooting
have the possible hottest goalie.
Yeah. And, Scheifele, Eller, like they have so much attacking, like,
Connor.
so many great goals. Like easily Blake Wheeler, Kyle Connor, Scheifele, Ehlers, and Dubois could put up all 60 points each as well. Right?
Yep.
And Statsny, I see him as like a 50 point guy probably, depending on the line he's on and minutes he plays. Also Cole Perfetti, little bit of a wild card. I like him. I'm not going to draft him in fantasy or anything.
He
but,
can't skate.
don't talk about Cole Perfetti like that ever again.
He can't
Ty,
skate,
you can't
sorry.
skate.
I know, which means that I can realize I can skate, but better than at least two of the people here. But it means that I can evaluate talent in Cole Perfetti.
Wait, who do you think you can skate better than Ty?
Definitely
Not
me.
answer that question.
I want you to
Not answer that
vocalize
question.
me or Martin. Who do you think is better?
I don't think.
According
Martin
to
skates.
Martin's caricature, he definitely can't skate. But
I can't hold a hockey stick properly.
yeah, according to the
Oh, yeah.
caricatures, Eric would be the best skater.
That's true. This is true.
Ty, do you think you're better than Martin or better than me?
Martin.
Also, I'm the least physically challenged out of all of those.
And probably
look
Luke as well.
fine.
I played hockey against Luke several times. I'm probably better than him.
I think I'm
Okay.
faster than you, Ty. I think if we raced in a straight line, I'd beat you.
No way.
I think so.
I'm not an extremely good skater, so you'd be better than me, Ty. You played
Eric,
hockey
let's
for
Eric.
numerous years.
Eric, you've just
I'm down to
started,
race. Let's
all right,
race.
let's do it.
Let's do it. I know I can beat you running because we've done
You
it
can do
before.
your running, yes.
So I feel like I can beat you skating.
Eric, I have I will have a broken ankle. I will go skating with you tomorrow if it came to it.
Okay, it's on. We have to film this for Talking Hockey.
Yeah, live stream the race.
Yeah,
Good. We need some different content ideas.
yeah. Need to spicing up.
Need
the
to provide
content a
Nick
bit.
some talking hockey TikToks.
Okay,
Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to the division.
My central division would be the Avalanche, Wild, Stars, and then Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Mine
It's
is-
so hard to rule out St. Louis. Too.
Definitely, it is.
I will say Minnesota.
I mean, there is a. Go ahead.
Minnesota,
Keep going.
Colorado. I would say third place is going to be Chicago, and then the fourth place are the Jets. But then I could see the St. Louis. I could see Dallas, competing for the wild card. I don't think Dallas is as good as you guys think they are. I know 2 years removed from a Stanley Cup, but I don't think that they're anything.
I mean, they weren't
That was a
really.
lucky-ass Stanley Cup,
It's hard,
yeah.
yeah. That's what I was going to
Who's
say.
got
They weren't
feedback on the
exactly.
mic? Okay, it's gone.
Oh, that's probably me. I didn't mute myself.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, Dallas wasn't exactly the most worthy or dominant team when they made that cup run in the first place. I'm just thinking, like, if you look at the players that broke out last year, it was all their young guys. Hintz, Jason Robertson, Gergyanov had like a 48-point pace season.
And they didn't have
45
Radulov and Sagan.
Yeah, that's what
all
I'm saying.
year.
So like if those guys continue that production, and both those guys, Hintz and Robertson, were both almost point per game players. Right? Yeah, I think Hintz was a point per game player. I think Robertson was almost a point per game player.
Robertson was for quite some time, and then
fell off a little bit
fell
towards
off.
the end. But so that's what I'm saying overall, though. Like Dallas can have more upside than I think people will give them credit for, just solely based off of that. That's my only point. Anyways, so that's the Central. I think the only thing we all really agree on is Minnesota, Colorado top 2, and Arizona not making it. It seems like if the Arizona Coyotes make the playoffs, Ty is going to run around his neighborhood naked 3 times.
I don't know. I don't know when I agreed to that, but
No, I think Eric's gonna have to
I
do
don't
something.
care.
Eric's really
Eric's
good at
gonna-
making other people.
I
do
will.
bets.
I will. You guys can dump ice water on me or something.
That is
I
not-
literally don't.
Not
I literally don't give a shit about Arizona. That I would not make that bet. If it was something about Toronto, easy.
Phil Kessel's on the trade block. We should let's predict where he ends up
No,
real quick.
No.
Rapid fire.
no.
Go.
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
LA
Kessel?
Kings.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That was mine
LA
too.
Kings.
I literally
Yeah.
looked at that and went, I feel like a nice LA Kings vibe with Kessel right there.
Yeah, me too. He'd look really good in black and white too. I think.
I want him
Yeah,
to go
no.
back to Boston because I think it would be funny.
Dude,
I
want
don't
Boston
think
to stop
Boston
getting
doesn't
players.
need wingers. That's why I didn't look at them. Immediately, I was
enough.
like, LA could use like a goal scoring winger.
My buddy Nate, because Kessel has a pretty big cap hit, but not a big actual payment. Like he's only like $1 million that you actually have to pay him in real money, but he has like an $8 million cap hit. My buddy Nate was like, "Hey, if Ottawa's like anywhere close to being in,
Nah,
they might go for it."
no.
Just because
Ottawa's too
no,
cheap.
that's a cheap. That's $1 million though. Like, and they have
True.
the cap space.
True. I think New York has $8 million in cap space. The Rangers, sorry, New York doesn't help. Rangers is also
I don't see the
interesting.
Rangers being anywhere close to being a playoff team. So
They could be. I think we'll be a little bit. I think
okay,
you'll be a
let's
little
go
bit more
Met-
surprised.
Metro right now.
All right.
Metro
Okay.
next.
Good.
Wait. I did want, because we're on the topic of Arizona, I think this is really interesting. The dress code thing that everyone got a big deal about. What do we think about that? They relax. So for context, they relax the dress code. They can wear whatever they want. I
my
think, so that
take
you win.
is, who cares?
Me too.
I
My
do
take is
kind of
really
like
nobody.
cares.
I do
What'd you
like
say,
the
Ty?
dress code. Ty agreed. No, he doesn't care.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like it, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. Like it's
I
up
don't.
to you what you wear
Okay.
to the game.
Yeah, to me, I don't hate it. I think all the reasoning behind it is bullshit. Oh, if you wear it and you act like a professional, you're more likely to win. I'm like, okay, show me the proof. Every team
100%.
loses. There's a team that loses
Yes.
every night. What they wear to the game does not mean anything. I think you can make suits look really nice. And like a lot of the Leafs guys wear their fedoras and have really nice spiffy suits and stuff. And like that's the only team that I ever see doing like kind of something unique. But I mean, I love the like NBA's clothes and stuff. Like everyone that attributes it to discipline and winning, I'm like, bro,
No,
what are you talking about? Like most
Those
of
are
these kids when they're
blind hockey
12,
fans.
it's like, yeah, they're like rich families or they're families that are probably forced to go to like Value Village or like their local Salvation Army to be able to buy and afford anything like that looks like a suit.
I think
don't
people also overestimate how much hockey players show their personality by the way they dress. Like
Yeah.
it's like 1% of the population that actually gives a shit.
Yeah. Like these guys
Like,
don't show much
I
personality.
have never
anyways.
looked at their outfits pregame and been like, ooh, or like
But,
cared
like,
about it. And I get
I
I'm not
kind of
like
have.
I'm not the audience.
but the
for that.
NBA, the NBA does that.
Yeah,
Like,
but NHL players are
show up.
basically never gonna do that. So
But NBA
Yeah.
players wear their own stuff. It's like a
Yeah,
marketing
that's what I'm
ploy
saying.
to create their own revenue, right? Like if
an
Matthews
NBA
just
player,
created
like
his own
some
suit
NBA
line-
players, NBA players, some NBA players still wear suits. Like it'd be nice to see players showing up in suits, not showing up in suits, like whatever
Yeah,
they
NBA
want.
players are
everyone has
also
to get rid
part
of
of
the
the
suits.
culture. NBA players are part of like, culture itself. Like there's no
Yeah, pop
NHL players
culture.
that are part of culture. You can maybe make the
Also-
argument that Matthews is trying to get himself in there by tying himself to Drew and Justin Bieber and everything, but honestly, like the NHL isn't a part of culture.
But big update on the NBA. Brooklyn Nets said Kyrie's not allowed to do anything
Martin,
to do with the
we're
team.
not talking about this.
Get vaccinated. That's all I'm saying.
Martin, we're moving on.
Just,
Metro.
just get
Hey,
vaccinated.
I just wanted to talk about the dress code thing because I think it's interesting. Like some players might love wearing their suits and they'll still wear suits. Like who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
And
if
it
I was
also
an
just
NHL
allows for
player,
players
I
to make
would
more
just
money. So
I'd just wear suits because it'd just be an excuse to get nice suits, and I like
Yeah.
suits. So it's like, oh, I need it for TV. I can spend $2,000 on this, no problem. Okay, anyways, Metro. So my predictions for the Metro is simple. I'm going Pittsburgh. Islanders, Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Flyers. It's my prediction. Take it or leave it.
say it again.
All right. So Pittsburgh. This isn't
Yeah.
in any specific order. Pittsburgh, Islanders, Carolina, and Philly. Although Philly, they're at the bottom of that list, moving in and out depending on my mood with like the Capitals and the
Who
Rangers.
do you think any of the Metro teams are gonna claim a wild card spot?
I think the Metro. I think they will.
No. Really?
No?
Who?
What do you mean? Why don't you think so?
Because the Atlantic's so deep.
Oh, I guess you listed 4, so one of them would have to be a wild card spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
my bad.
I think
keep thinking
I
it's-
think the Metro's almost guaranteed a wild card spot. Like each of those teams I listed are better than like Montreal. Right?
That's fair.
So the one maybe they could even I don't see them I don't know. The Atlantic is deep. At the top of division it's deep. So that's why I think a Metro team has. The thing is the Metro teams might beat each other up, Like they might
Yes.
lose a lot of points just from playing each other. So that's the only thing. Like they'll have to go out and dominate other
Like-
divisions in order to
Like
grab that
Atlantic
wild card
teams get to
spot.
play. Atlantic teams get to play the Red Wings and the Sabres.
And the Senators.
multiple times. Yeah.
And
the
the
Sen-
Senators, Martin.
I mean,
But there's no easy win other than maybe Columbus in the Metro.
but Columbus isn't an easy win.
Yeah,
Columbus
that's what I'm saying.
is
They're pain
not
to
good,
play
but
against.
they're
They're
not.
a torts
Yeah,
team.
they're not good. They're not an easy win.
They're a torts team.
Like Buffalo is an easy fucking win, and so is Detroit at this point.
Yeah.
Ottawa is not going to contend, but they're not per se an easy win. They'll be
Anyways,
annoying.
Ty and Luke, thoughts?
My thoughts are this: how many years have we as the Talking Hockey Media Group been writing off the New York Islanders? And
Yeah,
stats
now we have them
community
first.
as a whole?
I have them first.
I have them first.
I agree with Eric. I have them first.
They're first, easy.
They're
'Cause-
first.
But watch this be the year where they're actually finally shit, like everyone's called.
Imagine.
No, there's like 0% chance.
Yeah,
I think
I think they're by far the most likely team because they're the only team that's consistent.
I think that Pittsburgh looks good. Pittsburgh always plays well. Even tonight against Tampa was pretty impressive. And I know it's the first game of the season, but they had a whole bunch of no names now that Crosby and Malkin are out for who knows how long. Basically, they're only.
I'm telling you, man, Sullivan is the best coach in the NHL. He doesn't need. Everyone gives him credit for Malkin and doesn't give him credit for Malkin and Crosby, but like he can win without them.
I think that the Capitals take a step back this year, especially with Ovechkin injured to begin the year. I think a team that can surprise is the Devils after getting Dougie Hamilton, assuming Jack Hughes can be better. And the big X factor for them is if Mackenzie Blackwood plays games. and if he can play games like he did, I guess 2 years ago for them, they could be a surprise team. Rangers could take the next step, especially if Zibanejad can be consistent this year, score 40 goals again, like how he did 2 years ago. He almost scored 50 goals, I think, before COVID stopped. He would have been on pace for 50 goals. It's tough to pick the middle, like how it is for most divisions. I think that this one's kind of tough to be just as tough to pick the middle teams, but I think it'd be something like the Islanders, Penguins, Rangers, Flyers. I could see. I think that Philadelphia is another team I think that is going to be much improved this year, especially if Carter Hart plays well.
Well, I mean, the
Well,
only
you're-
reason the Flyers didn't make the playoffs last year is because Carter Hart had one of the worst
The-
seasons.
The Flyers,
Their
yeah,
goalie.
and also the Flyers also won the division
The
in
year before.
the COVID shortened season.
Yeah,
So,
but they weren't really great. Like in the playoffs, they were like not good. That bubble
The
playoffs,
weird
they were
so
not good.
the year the Flyers won the division was the year that COVID started, right? And it
Yes.
stopped at like 70 games. And the reason they won is because they went on an insane hot streak. It was like 15, 17 games, whatever the hell it was, where they just kept winning. Before that, they were
Yeah.
actually like almost out of a
500,
playoff
yeah.
spot,
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
right? They were on the edge. So like I don't give them too much credit for that 2 years ago, because any team can go on a, like, we've seen it with Montreal, we've seen it with Ottawa, with the the Hamburglar, like it happens,
but
like,
adding Ryan Ellis is pretty huge.
but
for
I
that
think it's
defensive
it's measured out. They got Ellis and then they got
Yeah.
Ristolainen,
Oh,
and it's like nothing.
I don't.
And Martin Joe just
I
a
honestly-
backup goalie.
I honestly don't see the Flyers in, but like I'm just saying.
Yeah,
don't
no,
completely
I think
write
there's
them
just a
off.
bunch of what ifs with the Metro. Like, what if Carolina suffers a lot from Hamilton leaving? What if the Rangers, all the younger guys that they have in their lineup step up big time? What if Flyers get Hart back to his old ways and Konechny rebounds, Giroux and Couturier and rebound, Cam Atkinson fits in.
Konechny's a huge X factor, like
Yeah.
huge X factor.
That's why I drafted him on my fantasy team. Breakout kid. Yeah.
The Devils are very interesting. Again, I drafted 2 of them in my fantasy.
Yeah.
Um,
Martin bet his entire fantasy team on the Devils, basically.
no.
Yeah, basically.
If
More or
Jack
less.
Hughes hits, which this as a first overall pick, this should be his year to hit. And I listened to him on the 32 Thoughts podcast, and that kid sounds like a cocky motherfucker.
Does
which he
32
kinda needs to
thoughts
be.
sound as good as 31 thoughts? I don't like it.
No.
No,
But it has
doesn't.
to be.
It doesn't sound as good as 30 Thoughts either.
I know it has to. No,
Yeah,
I think
32
31
just-
thoughts is perfect. 30 thoughts is
Yeah, 30,
32 is
31
meh.
sounds really nice.
Yeah.
31 sounds really, really
So I have
nice.
something to say.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I'm betting on. I've already drafted him. I'm betting on Igor Chernigovich to break out beside Quinn Hughes, or not Quinn Hughes, on Jack Hughes. So we'll see. I grabbed him.
So
for
none of
Brady.
you guys had the Capitals? Like, I find it very hard to
No.
write off the Capitals that hard.
I just man,
the
age
Metro's tight,
happens
bro.
sometimes. At some
The
point.
only team I'm writing off in the Metro is literally Columbus. I think that's the only team I'd write off, saying they're not making it.
Yeah, but like they didn't have the Capitals in the playoffs.
Kuznetsov's
my-
repeatedly taken steps back.
Yes.
Backstrom's out for the first month, I believe.
Ovechkin just got
or-
hurt.
Yes.
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin
Well,
just
Ovechkin's
got
apparently day to day though.
Yeah, day to day. John Carlson.
Samsonov's
like,
a huge X factor. Like huge X factor.
yes,
like,
and that's
he
why I
could
drafted
come
him in
out-
fantasy too. I drafted a lot of those guys. It's gonna be an interesting year. I'm stressed.
I
I
see
love
it
how I'm
being the-
predicting Capitals don't make the playoffs, and I also drafted Samsonov as my second
Yeah.
goalie. That's
Yeah,
this is good.
that
This
is
is
funny.
good. This is good, Eric.
I see it being the Islanders, Penguins, and Carolina. As much as Carolina regressed, I don't think Brendan Moore will allow them to regress that much, because Slavin still had a almost Norris candidate year last year. So he's still sick.
You're counting a lot on
The
Freddie
Hamilton
Anderson
loss
there,
is
bud.
still huge. Frederick Anderson is a big X factor. Who's their backup? Ranton?
Antti Ranta.
Yeah, Ranta's
Yeah,
good though.
But
If he's
Ranta's
healthy.
also injured. He's
If
been
he's
injured the
healthy.
past 3 years. Yeah.
And then it will be Capitals, Devils battling out, and Rangers, Flyers as well. It's a battle. It's a battle in that division. I think we are right that they will beat the crap out of each other in the games they play.
Well, you also got to remember they only play the other teams like 4 times a year, I think. Right? It's not
Yeah,
like
but-
last year where they're just every single
But
game.
4 times 7 teams is half your season.
Yes.
That's true.
Like
Good math.
Each Atlantic Division team gets 8 games against Buffalo and fucking Detroit,
No, they don't. Oh, they do. Sorry, you're right.
which is like huge.
Eric, I'm going to
'Cause
keep muting you
Buffalo
until
and
you mute
Detroit
yourself.
are like Buffalo is historically bad, in my opinion. And Jeff Merrick agreed with me. I want to point that out.
No,
Ooh,
he
Jeff
said
Merrick
something and
agrees
you
with
agreed
you.
with him. I think
No.
that is
Eric,
a
have I been
statement
saying
that
this for a while?
everyone does.
I'm just
Everyone's been
kidding.
saying this.
I know you've been saying it for a while.
I think they're historically bad, and yeah, to play them 4 times is a blessing. Like,
So that's a good segue to the Atlantic Division. I think Atlantic Division's really short because,
Yes.
I think we all have the same top 4: Tampa, Florida,
Yes.
Toronto, Boston.
I think you want my
yeah.
hot take.
Is it
Mute yourself
Anthony
first.
Stewart's hot take?
No, mute yourself first, Eric. There we go. So I don't hear myself 3 times echoing. Leafs first,
Oof.
Florida second,
Oof.
Tampa third, Boston wild card.
Did this opinion change in the last 2 hours when Tampa lost their first game of the season?
No. I have a few, but
Goof.
really, like everyone who's counting on to do a 3-peat forget just how much Blake Coleman, Yanni Gourde, and Barclay Goodrow played for them last year.
Yes.
Oh, I don't
And
think
Tyler
Tampa's going to
Johnson.
do a 3-peat.
You call them their third line when they actually played the most minutes out of any forward group on Tampa last year for the playoff run and the season.
I think I just don't see Toronto being better than Florida.
I think Florida's
Like
overrated.
Florida's first for me. Florida
I think-
is
Florida
I-
does. So to be fair, Florida has a lot of regression candidates
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
into this year. Reinhardt had a career high shooting percentage. Bennett had a career high shooting percentage. Vetrano, I think, even had a career high shooting percentage. Barkov, I think, was close to his career high shooting percent. Like, there's a bit of regression coming from the top guys. They did get, they're getting Ekblad back for the rest of the season. That's huge for a full season, hopefully, quote unquote. That's huge. We'll see if Knight improves, but there is a little bit of regression coming to Florida. So that's my only cautionary tale with regards to them.
I absolutely agree with Eric on this one. I think that Florida, from their year they had last year, has become really, really overrated. They should make the playoffs, no doubt, but I don't see them running away with the division like how a lot of people might.
The thing is, and I'm really high on him, is Anton Lundell. He's kid's really good. Really freaking good. Really, really good. Arguably, after watching him, could be one of the top 3 best players in that draft easily. And I think Florida got him at 10 or 8 or something like that. So I think he can have an impact almost right away. Owen Tippett, we'll see what happens with him. It's about time. He's 22
12.
now. Sorry?
They got him at 12.
12. So even better. And I think he's going to be a top 3 player out of that draft. So yeah, anyways, that's my kind of take on it.
All I want in the playoffs next year is Tampa and Florida again. I don't care how we get there. I don't care if the NHL rigs it to happen. I just want that again.
It
Give me
wasn't
more
as
of that.
exciting as everyone thought it was going to be, though. I think
Shut
Tampa
up. They teams hated each other. I loved it.
Sure, but I mean Tampa just dummied them.
Yeah, what
mean,
we
it
need
was-
is Tampa versus Florida and Leafs versus Boston, first round, baby.
No.
Let's
Hey,
go.
FYI,
I'm
guys,
not watching.
Joe Thornton made his pick, and he picked Florida over Toronto.
So that clearly means Florida
God.
is not going to win.
Thank God.
Because
Honestly,
Thornton
thank you.
is notorious for picking teams that do not win.
watching All or
Hey,
Nothing made me lose so
gotta
much respect
eventually
for
be
Joe
right.
Thornton. Dude,
I
he's
have
been in the league
massive
21
respect for
years.
Joe Thornton, but his choices have not exactly been the greatest over the last 10 years of his career.
And also, he sucks now. Like, he was a huge net negative on the ice towards the end of the year for the Leafs. So thank you, Joe, for not choosing the Leafs again.
Thank you, Dubas, for telling Thornton to walk, you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's do you
Now we can rapid fire the different
Yeah.
things.
I just
didn't
wanted
say
to talk
mine. I didn't say my division. I
Oh,
think
sorry.
it's Florida,
Sorry.
Tampa, Toronto, Boston.
I would agree. So
yeah.
we all agree Montreal's not going to make the playoffs.
So
Especially
that
Carey
means they
Price
will
out.
win the division. That's I
I
think
don't
we just
know.
guaranteed it.
Montreal just got a brand new number one center in Adam Brooks. So I think it's possible.
Good point. That is a good point. They did.
And
And
they
they just signed
re-signed
Suzuki
Their
to
other
a
number one. Yeah.
massive compared to what his value is now, overpaid. Compared to what his future value is, probably fairly paid.
It should be. It's a whatever deal. I don't think it's a steal by any means. I don't think it's an overpayment.
Yeah.
But I would
There's a
say if you're
lot
wrap-
of people saying steal, and I'm just like, have you watched Nick Suzuki? Like Jason
He's
Spezza
so
had more.
overrated.
Jason Spezza had more even strength points last year than Nick Suzuki did. So I think that says something.
Like, he's a good
Though
all around player.
Suzuki
There's
is
nothing,
really
there's
good.
nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong
I think
with him.
he's really good, and he's better than Spezza. Obviously, I'm just poking fun, but I think he will be worth the contract when at his peak. So that's fine. So that's a fine contract by me. He's overpaid right now, though.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to talk
It's
about
a
the
whatever.
Kravtsov
It's okay.
situation quickly.
McKinnon and COVID.
No, fuck
Oh.
COVID. I'm so tired of COVID. I'm not talking about COVID anymore. I refuse.
Okay, good. Well, you brought it
uh,
up at the beginning of the show, so
I saw you. Anyways, moving past it. Kravtsov basically asked for a trade from the Rangers. I kind of wanted to talk about it. I know I put up a couple stories on it, but like the Rangers. So can we talk about the Rangers rebuild? So the Rangers rebuild is essentially they tore it down. They went and traded a bunch of their guys. They really lucked into two picks, right? Lafreniere and Kako. They didn't bottom out to get those picks. They had like a 5, 7, 10% chance, whatever, at getting those, and they just hit on those chances, essentially. Right? So they never actually really bottomed out. And then like it's a really and like good for them. They didn't have to get like, the top end guys like Lafreniere and stuff. But like their rebuild actually, like I was giving them a ton of credit earlier on, but a lot of it again came from luck. But now you're looking at like the way the team has kind of come together, and it doesn't look as great as what the kind of potential was there for a bit.
So they blew
You
their
know?
2017 pick. Lias Anderson blew it.
Yeah,
He's not with
completely.
the organization.
They blew the
ruined his
McDonough
development.
trade. The McDonough trade, there's nothing left basically from the McDonough trade except potentially Lundqvist.
They're very high on him.
Yeah, they are high on him. They should be high on him, but he's the only thing left from the McDonough, JT Miller and McDonough trade, I should say. So they blew that. Jacob Trouba got a gigantic contract, and he hasn't been worth it at all. Chris Kreider got a huge 7-year deal, and he's 30 right now. Panarin, amazing player. Zibanejad just got an $8.5 million deal, and he's 28 now. So the rebuild went from like a rebuild to almost like half their guys aging out already, basically.
But you also forget that they also have Adam Fox and,
Yeah,
just
of course.
their opinion
I was
and
gonna,
stuff.
yeah, obviously, but they also lucked into Adam Fox. They didn't draft,
Yes.
develop Adam Fox. He came in, NHL ready, almost a Calgary
He only wanted
winner.
to play for
He
the
only wanted to play for the Rangers. Lucky them.
respect to him.
Yeah, and good
Sure.
for him. He's doing exactly what he wanted to do. Great, but overall, like really, they're other than sheer luck, they actually haven't done anything
They mangled
good.
a Trouba trade. Like Pionk would be better than Trouba.
Yeah, Pionk's better than Trouba. They're dead cap. They have like $4 million and $3 million over the next 2 years in dead cap space. Like I just like the team. Like this is they have to basically hope Kako and Lafreniere turn into stars in the next 2 years to be competitive because the team's
And
built
honestly,
to be competitive now.
Kako's not looking good.
Yeah, Kako's looking like he'll
where
be
he
a
was
fine
drafted.
player, but he doesn't look like a star.
Yeah.
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 So, and then, the bottom of the lineup, Dryden Hunt, Kevin Rooney, Julian Gauthier, Ryan Reeves, Barclay Goodrow, like very uninspired bottom.
And they gave
two lines.
Goudreau like a huge fucking contract.
Yeah, $3.6 million for 7 years. So overall, they bunch of bad deals, bunch of
Traded
older
for
guys on
Reeves.
big deals. We'll see what happens with Ryan Strome. He's 1 year left on his deal. I wonder if they're going to give him a big deal. They have $8 million in cap space, to be fair to them. But then they also traded Buchnevich away because they were supposedly bringing in room for younger players / trying to save cap room for other moves and didn't use either of it. So now they traded Buchnevich away for nothing, or practically nothing, for a fourth line player and a pick, I think, whatever it is. And top six, arguably top line winger. And they're letting Kravtsov, who is supposed to be their top six winger, he's going to leave the organization. So another pick where they've kind of just wasted him away on a long line of guys that they haven't really developed at all. So that's the Rangers, basically. That's what I wanted to talk about. Or just ran. Whatever.
All right, you got that out of you?
Yeah, I got it out of me.
All right.
Now you can
Thanks,
shut me
everyone.
off.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of the Talking Hockey Podcast. Leave a review. Honestly, whatever. I don't care if it's 5 stars, 4 stars. Please not less than 3 stars, though. That's all I ask. But if you don't like Eric, I will support 1 star
That's just rude.
reviews. Anyways, that's it for this week. We will see you when the NHL is officially in full swing. Well, I guess now, but next week. Hopefully there will be more news after 5 games of NHL play. Peace.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode. We love and appreciate each listener that sticks around to the end. With that comes reminders to leave a review, press follow on those streaming platforms, and make sure to head over to Instagram to follow Talking Hockey. We're on the road to 30K, and we can't wait to continue to build our audience. Luke, Eric, Ty, and Martin signing off. We'll see you all next week.
When you think of the last 20 years of the Browns, what's the saddest memory that first comes to mind?
The year we didn't win a game. Josh Gordon, to be honest.
Being a punching bag for the Steelers.
The past 20 years.
I'm Andre Knott, and on my new podcast, Brownstown, we dive deep into 20 years of Cleveland Browns heartbreak. We talk to players, coaches, and journalists that saw it all firsthand. If you're a lifelong fan or just hopping on the bandwagon, this podcast is for you. Listen to Brownstown wherever you listen to podcasts.